Hey, Roger. Where's everybody, Roger? All right. Where is everybody? Huh. We got lurkers. I'm just waiting for people to show up. Sorry. Usually we have 30, 40 people. Get lucky we have 50, but typically it's like, yeah, they must be taking a nap. Well, I was a little late, like 2 minutes late, so maybe that threw everybody off, but I got late to getting everything started here. And they're doing more stump removal next door, and they're like, oh man, they're gonna build back there. I'm not looking forward to it. I may have to move my studio. I may have a whole new look in a few months. Because I noticed in our bedroom, like if they start building a building there, it's pretty loud. The only downside to moving my studio to our master bedroom is it's next to the air conditioner. So in the summer, I have a feeling that'll be the issue I'm dealing with. I'll have to turn off the air conditioner every time I want to record acoustics. But otherwise, it's pretty. Hey, Matthew, how's it going? From Canada. Awesome. I love Canada. I love Vancouver in particular. I wasn't impressed with Toronto, but it was. I don't know. Toronto. I'm not dissing Toronto. It just seemed like a lot of apartment buildings where I was, just rows, and it looked like dominoes. It was kind of depressing. I can't even remember the clinic I taught there, but Vancouver was freaking amazing. I want to take my wife there. I was there 20 years ago. It's so expensive now. So, hey, Lena, how's it going? John Y, good to see you. Dan. Oh, I'm glad, Dan. Nevada. Nevada, and so we got Canada, we got California, we got Nevada, we got Florida. Roger, I think you're in California too, if I'm not mistaken. I know you used to work at Northrop. Jack's been busy, but he still hadn't really been in the office, but like twice. Yeah, everybody's working from home still. So, Michael Mason, good to see you. Hook, good to see you. Yeah, Vancouver is like a yeah, it's very wet. It was very wet. Actually, funny because I was in Seattle. It seems like it may have been the same. I don't know if it was the same year. It can't be that I taught clinics, but I did a clinic in Portland for Maranatha Music in '97, I think, and I did it 97, 98, 99. I did like 12 every year. But for some reason, I think the first year I did Vancouver, Seattle, and Portland, but they must have been like months apart from each other. But those are awful close together. Um, and I loved all three cities. I mean, I guess living in Los Angeles, you kind of get used to the desert kind of vibe. It's not quite like New Mexico or Arizona. We actually water stuff here mainly. I don't know. We're not we shouldn't, um, but yeah, it definitely it's a little bit greener here, but not very. And when I went up to Seattle, I was like, oh my gosh, we're constantly on bridges over water. It was so amazing. And even Sacramento has a lot of water everywhere. So when you fly into Sacramento, it's like, wow, there's a lot of water everywhere. It's just down here, we're technically reclaimed desert. I'm assuming you're a subscriber, Matthew. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Yesterday, I put on. I got the strings that I ordered from Elixir, the mediums, and I'll tell you, I put mediums on this. I've never had mediums on this guitar since the day I bought it. I've had lights. Maybe once I had extra lights because I wanted to try it, but I hated it. I vaguely remember seeing like a decal, not a decal, but like a literally like what's it called when they make, they hammered in wood, and it was probably like some kind of plate that they had printed up, and they just went tap on Martins. It seemed like there was some. Oh, thank you, Lena. God bless you. But it seems like there was some Martins that had it said inside there, please, string with Martin mediums. And that was a little ad for Martin strings, but they were saying medium strings. And this guitar doesn't have a truss rod. So, I mean, there may be I don't think there's a rod in there, but there's no adjustment anywhere for it. So you can, you don't even see a truss rod cover here. This foam is to keep these strings from ringing out. Thank you. You paid for my coffee. That's 2 days. Well, let's see. But that's about a day of coffee right there. YouTube takes a little bit, and that's fine. YouTube deserves it. They allow me to rant for 2 hours every 3 times a week, and then they keep it up there on their hard drives. Yeah, they deserve everything they get. But man, I am loving it. For one thing, it just sounds better. The reason I did it was because I felt like my neck was getting a little flat. It needed a little bit more bow to it. So I assumed the reason Martin have this memory, and I don't know where that came from, but I have a memory of. I'm getting notifications, but I think it's just scams. Yeah. I have this memory of that being a request by Martin to put medium strings on the guitars. To me, it sounds better. Now, it sounds a lot more adult. I don't know if I'll still be able. I mean, I got that cheap guitar for the pop stuff, but most of the pop stuff I do, I use this guitar. So hopefully it won't be too adult sounding for pop. But you never know. We'll see what happens. I'm a little advanced, sorry. Well, we're going to do a review today. And then I'm thinking that maybe next week we'll start doing Wildwood Flower. So what I may do is do a chart for it, a very basic chart with tab. And we can start working on that. The first thing we're going to have to do is maybe learn the chords, and then we'll start learning the melody. Like I said, if we were really going to be serious, and I had no idea this was going to go 9 weeks. This is by far the longest I've ever spent on one subject on this live stream. So I didn't really expect that. But so had I thought, we were going to be 9 weeks, I might have started right off the bat by learning songs. And what I will do is I will reiterate previous lessons as we learn the song. Like, oh, here's a melody, and I may have to, I may record the changes or something for the song, and hopefully YouTube will allow me to upload and monetize it if it's a public domain. We'll find that out. I saw yesterday, I watched a video of Rick Beato got a copyright strike without even getting a warning. Like anytime I've ever had a copyright strike, it's always been a warning, and I have options. Like you can take the song out, you can take the video down, you can do blah, 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 blah. if you don't, you'll get, you know, or I can appeal, and I've always appealed because the copyright strikes were always done by bots or something that didn't really own the song. It was like, remember that one time we were playing, I forget what we were playing over, like a jazz progression or something like that, and I said, okay, let's play the root and the root and the root and the root, and I got a copyright strike, and it tells you the specific time frame, like in a 2-hour video, say, you know, minute 47:32 to minute 48:62. Well, not 62, 38 or whatever. And like that 1 minute, and you can take it out, you can mute it, um, you can contest it. And it was like, how do you copyright roots of each chord? And I wrote that. I said, I think this was taken down by a bot. I created the jam along track. I'm playing live, and it's not any melody. There's no melody there. It's just the root of the chord. And so I guess a human actually read it, or they just after 30 days, because it took 30 days, and they said it would take 30 days. So I'm assuming if they don't get around to it in 30 days, they just give you a pass. Or maybe within, you know, at some point somebody did actually read my contesting part, but yeah. Oh, good. Oh yeah, the Cars one. Yeah, it was the Cars one, and it's like, really, and I don't understand. I think they should give him shared monetization because he's promoting their music. I don't get that. So, you know, I think Rick makes a lot of money, but he must make most of his money selling the books. Well, and I think when he does a live stream, people like Lena, you know, drop him some coin, because I'll watch his live stream and people will be dropping in coin all the time, you know, doing super chats. Because he's not really doing much else other than making videos. I think he said he had 900 videos in 4 years. The guy's busy. Yeah, give me a like. It makes me feel good. So, but I am super digging the medium strings. Now, they are harder to play. And in some ways, they might be a little bit easier. The part of me thinks I feel a little more confident with them under my fingers, the medium strings. It's hard to, like, you can't bend them as easily, and I don't bend it much anyway. You know, there's not a whole lot of bending going on in bluegrass. But actually not being pitchy when I push a string down is a good thing, because if you have too light of strings, you push it down, it's going to be pitchy. And the intonation's perfect. Hey, Nathan, what's going on? Oh, hey. So yeah, so I'm digging the medium strings. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to kind of do a review of the stuff we've been talking about, and then I think, like I said, next week we might start learning an actual melody to a real song, and it'll be easier than the songs that I've been writing. Okay, so if I go back to Bluegrass 1, well, first off, let's do some warm-ups. Let's do a couple different warm-ups, and I can send you links to these, but. Let's do the 1-4-3-4-2-4-3-4 exercise, okay? Nathan, what's going on? Let's see. Let me go exercise. Boop. Exercise. No, that's not what I want to do. No, that's not what I want to do either. This is what I want to do. All right, so 2 left-handed studies. This one we're gonna do this one. Oh, I haven't posted. Did I post? I did post the. I think I posted the. I did not. Is Dennis on? Well, wait. What's Dennis? Well, I can post a link for the Discord as well here. I thought I did that, but I didn't. And let me. Yeah, me too. Okay, so here's that, and then pin that. Okay, so so let's do this one. The 1, first finger on the first fret of the first string. pinky on the 4th fret of the 4th string, third finger on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string, pinky on the 4th fret, 2nd, 4th, and 3rd, 4th. First time you hear that, it might be a little confusing, but it's 1 4 3 4 2 4 3 4. Okay, and what this is that exercise. And you can do all downstrokes if you want. If you're still struggling to kind of organize your hand, your left hand, you can go very slow and downstrokes if you want. But if you get better at it, you can start to do the alternating. Or if you want to, you could practice doing index middle, middle index, middle ring, ring middle, index ring. You can't really see this hand here. Or the hardest of all of them, index middle ring middle. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, that's like I'm gonna fall out of my chair with that one because it's so complex. But I did that in college, and that was a way to take this exercise, this warm up, and the whole goal of this exercise, if you'll notice, half of the notes are the 4th finger. The goal of this exercise is to try to get you to keep your pinky out and available. You hear that, Holly? Okay, this is a great exercise to do every day for anyone who's struggling with their pinky, which is every guitar player. And trust me, it's okay if you don't. I watched Eric Clapton play, and he sometimes never even pulls his pinky out of the holster. And you can go all the way up, just go up a fret every time. Maybe go to your pinky gets to the 12th fret, or if you're playing electric, you can keep going higher if you want to practice playing on tiny, tiny frets. And if you have time, you can go down. If you don't have time, you can start up on the 2nd string, doing the same thing. And you don't need to stay with me. You go at your own speed. And if you really don't have time, you could do like the 1st string, up the 1st string, up the 3rd string, and up the 5th string, and then maybe the next day you go up the 2nd string and up the 4th string and up the 6th string. It's kind of good to get these lower strings too, because it helps you practice reaching out there, because those strings are kind of harder to get to than the ones right here. Okay. And so I posted that. You can see that YouTube link I posted. That's the 2 exercises. The first one was 1 2 3 4 4 3 2 1. That's the first of the 2. Oh, Dennis is here. Hey, Dennis. Okay. And then let's see. So kind of get your fingers kind of warmed up. And then if you want to try this octave one, we can do this one. So we get 2 E's, low E, 2nd fret on the 4th string. We get 2 F's, like that. Okay. 1st fret and 3rd fret on the 4th string, and then we're going to get our 2nd finger. So this is very positional. Whatever fret you're playing, that's what finger you're going to use. And then 2nd and 4th, you get 2 F sharps. We get a little bit of a respite here because now we have 3rd fret and open, so we have a G string. So I'm trying to play the lowest of every one of these notes. So this note, I could play it here, but the lowest in positionally would be this open, okay? And then we have pinky on the A flat and 1st finger on the A flat. And that's a nice, okay? And then open A and the A on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, okay? This also is kind of designed to keep your fingers available, right? You get the B flat, so we have the 1st fret on the 5th string and the 3rd fret on the 3rd string. And in the video I messed up here. I actually think I went up doing this, which the actually lowest B note would be the open B. This is on the 4th fret, this one's on the 0 fret. So you could do either. I kind of like doing it this way just to get the pinky more involved. And then when I get to C, I go here, C, and C. So you're making a C chord essentially without the 2nd finger. And then we're going to go, this is a toughie, pinky on C sharp and 2nd finger on C sharp right there. In fact, that's a great little exercise. If you want to just practice going back and forth between those two, you could do that. Okay. Fun, huh? Udayan, good to see you. Okay. And then D and D, which nice little respite there from those two, the C and the C sharp. Okay. And then first finger on the E flat is the most common name for it, but D sharp, you can think of it as a D sharp, and the pinky on the D sharp. And we're going to go to E in open E, and two Fs. A little out of tune there. Yeah. I just put the strings on yesterday, so last night, while watching The Office. Such a painful show to watch. I just feel so bad for Michael. I was like, and yet he's like, oh God. But I think the reason it's so painful to watch is because I identify with Michael, because I'm always saying stupid things. Okay, especially in the workplace. Okay, we got F sharps here. That's a toughie, and then G's, and then A's. Or A flat, sorry, G sharps. G's are easy. Third string open, third fret. And that exercise is the most recent one I've posted. See, I wonder if I have any other exercises coming up. Where is this? Here it is. Oh, did I have another one that? Well, I do want to do an exercise. I started to write this thing. I want to do an exercise. I could even do it on TikTok, but I can't revenue. I don't know how to revenue TikTok yet. So. But I want to come up with some finger-independent exercises that are musical, that aren't just like clearly exercises, right? Or this one. You hate me. This is the worst one. See? Okay, and then what was it? Oh, this. I don't do this one very often. Usually on electric, usually standing up, like in church or something. Okay, and then I'll do, see, these two fingers. And then a cellist showed me that you could separate the two fingers like this and do the middle four strings. I'm not concentrating. Wow, that is hard though. Hey, I'm always happy to struggle in front of you because I think in some way that kind of encourages you or makes you go ha ha. I mean, maybe it doesn't encourage you. I don't know. Well, they're like, if Tom can't get it, I'm never gonna get it. So it's like, I quit. I played, you know. All right. And so, you know what? I'm concerned. I have an idea, and you'll know right away why I'm concerned. But I'm thinking, okay, let me create a Zoom event today at noon. My concern is that we go 2 hours, and I spend 4 hours doing live streaming, and I can't monetize the Zoom. But it would be great to see everybody's face. So, yeah. Oh, Pink, I know it's that one is brutal. It is great for separating, you know, because one of the things. Well, did you ever do that little junior high thing where it's like, okay, lift this finger, it weighs 1 pound, you know, it weighs 1,000,000 pounds. Okay, now lift this finger, it weighs 2,000,000 pounds. Okay, now lift this finger, it weighs like 1 pound, and you can't, whatever, you know, you try to do that, and it's funny because with my left hand, I pretty much can do it with any, but that's part of it is because the tendons I think are joined up or something. If we were to X-ray our hands, like it's hard to move this finger without moving this finger, and vice versa, and first and second fingers seem to be pretty independent of each other, but the other fingers tend to kind of depend on each other. So it's kind of weird. Hey, Julian. We have a lot of new faces here. And Painkiller, you're not usually here. Or you're usually lurking. Thank you, Dennis, and Bruce for hipping everybody to what's going on here. So now that we've warmed up, let's do some review, and then I think, like I said, next week we'll do. Okay. Oh, also, all right. So you guys, I'm sure there's some Zoom experts here. Okay. Schedule a meeting. Is that right? I click schedule a meeting. Schedule a meeting. Tom Straley's Zoom meeting. Okay. Date and time. Today's date. Let's say, okay, let's say noon my time, and let's just go to 12:30. All right. And maybe I'll eat. Because, see, here's the reason. I know it's not going to go. I know it's not going to go 2 hours because I'm not going to be the one talking. So I'll get bored in about 5 minutes, right, Pepper? Let's see. So let's see. Okay, so I've got that recurring meeting. No. Time possess. Yes. Meeting ID. Generally automated personal meeting. Okay. Waiting room. Only users passcode. Security. Okay. So can I generate allow participants to join anytime? Well, yeah, I think that's right. Okay, so okay. That doesn't matter. I don't have any events on my calendar. But am I going to get a link? Oh, I saw a link here. Okay, is this copy? No. Oh, that's a map. It says map. The heck? How is that? Okay, well. Oh, no results. Fine. Okay, well, that's actually good. So I'm assuming that. Oh, Zoom meeting. Here it is. Oh, that's the same thing. Okay, so you guys are yelling at me, I'm sure, right now. You're going, don't know. Highlight. Okay, so I'm gonna post this link. Okay, Dennis, where should I post this link for the Zoom meeting on Discord? What? Oh wait, announcements. Yeah, my time is PST. Yes, Pacific Standard Time. So it'll be noon my time, which would be I don't know where are you in where I know you're in Canada, Matthew, but where? Yeah, I'm gonna put the link in Discord, but drop out. Okay, drop in. Okay, announcements. All right, perfect. Oh, there's a Tom Command Tips. Okay, so we'll see if this works at noon. Okay, turn our cloud. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting. It'll be the first time. So, and if it works, we can do it again. All right, now back to the lesson. All right, so we're going to let's just. How do I want to do this? Okay, so I'm here in this scene. I'm going to go back to my jam track, and I'm going to entertain you for a minute. So I'm going to use the scale that's shown here, right here. Shoot, right here. I'm going to use that scale over this jam track. Okay, so this is G major scale. Then we learned our pentatonic, so I'll change the pentatonic. I'll try to change for each chord. G major pentatonic over the G chord, C major pentatonic over the C chord, D major pentatonic over the D chord. Try it. little hard over the D. There's no G in the D major pentatonic. See, it's hard because musically I want to go wherever I want to go, but I'm trying to stick to the scales. Okay, so now I'm going to add the flat third, and now we can officially do the official G lick. Again, it's hard because I want to go places. Once I start a melody, I want to go somewhere that's not in the scales, and I'm trying to change over each one. Okay, the next ones we learned was the Mixolydian scale. That was flipping off your parents. So this one, though, I am going to go back and forth between G major, and I'm just making sure you guys can hear me okay. G major and G Mixolydian. So, and you should notice the difference when that F shows up. Okay. I don't think so. I don't think you'll need a password. I didn't set it that way, so it should be just click on the link, and if you have Zoom, you might be able to do it online too. If you don't have Zoom, you can use Zoom through that. So okay, now the next thing we did was the minor pentatonics. So blues, basically, like playing pentatonic number one at third position, but we're going to do it with open strings. That's kind of the point, get it more bluegrassy sounding, or country. So we have 3 different scales though. Okay, so that's kind of the 3 different pentatonics that we learned that were in the minor realm. And then the next thing we did was the blues pentatonic with a blues note add. So it'd be like. I messed up, didn't I? It's the C. It's that one there. It's the G minor 6. scales to know. And kind of fun. And then we did, I think that was the Dorian, which is the kind of a minor scale, but it worked. And it created some interesting flavors over the other chords. I like the sound of that. Again, you wouldn't want to spend a whole song on it, although we did write a song good. And then we started doing triads and sevens in first position. Kind of fun. And then we started doing this week we started just moving the major triads up the neck, which is really fun. If you get it down, it's kind of cool sounding. It looks cool too. So anyway, so that's kind of a musical overview of everything we've done in the last 9 weeks. It's a lot of information. The songs are all up on Discord. So if you go to the Discord, all the songs that I wrote for the different weeks are up there. I didn't write a song for this week, so I failed miserably as a human being. I'm trying to find. Okay. Sad Dad Bachelor Pad, BLUEGRASS, Uncle Jan's Real, Pent Up, Inigo Montoya from Rancho Cucamonga, Flipping Off the Parents, Write Down Everything I Say, which is an intentionally named song for a instrumental, and Not Economical. So that was the last one we did. So you can download all these, and they have they do have. I didn't record these, so you can't hear them. You kind of have to do them on your own. But you can use the jam track that I was just playing over, and that I'll repost the link for that. You can play over that, and the great thing is you can slow it down to 75 beats per minute. If you just hit 75 on the, you can go 75, you can go to 50, 25 if you want. That would be really slow. Let's listen to 25 real quick. That would sound like this. So that's 1/4 speed. Even half might be a little, 50 might be a little bit, 0.5 might be. Da, 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Those are 8 notes. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it's not undoable. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then 75. It's a little sound like it's underwater. 75 beats per minute. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and da 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 ba 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 ba. So that's pretty fast for some of you, I guarantee it. And then 100 is what I was just playing. That's what sounds the best. Let me pull up Uncle Jan's Reel, which was the first one using the major scale. Probably the happiest of all of these. Okay, but if you get it down, you can. The great thing is right here you can speed it up to 125. Or I could go to 150. If I hit 1.5 playback speed, it goes to 150. I did it again. So, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to go any further on that. But that's the cool thing about that jam track. So, let's see, did I post the jam track? I forget. There's the jam track. You need it. So, yeah, so there should be 8, is that right? 8 songs up? Because we're on week 9? Yeah, we're on week 9, and I did not do a song this week. So there should be 8 PDFs up there that you can download and print up just to practice. And the PDFs are not as musical. There's musicals I can make them while trying to stick with one scale or scale set. And I think the last one we did was, the not economical, was just the one that's mostly just triads. And maybe some 7th chords in there too. Okay. Oh, Music Jazz Vez, no worries. You are very welcome. Thanks for joining us. The admins are making sure the people are, if they're new, they join up, and they're welcome to join the Discord too. We're going to do I'm going to try to do a Zoom thing today, so we'll see how that works. And then, oh, nice. That's good. Okay then. Glad for your mom. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a real drag. I mean, my parents passed away. My mom passed away in 2016. My dad passed away in 2011, which is, gosh, it's gonna be 10 years. But he passed away 3 days after I turned 50. A couple milestones there, but yeah, the getting sick and being in the hospital this year, in the last year, has been really brutal because you can't have visitors and the whole COVID thing. So it's just, gosh, it makes it tough. So if you lose a spouse or a parent or something, in this past year, it's just so sad because you can't be with them, which just stinks. You never hit the like button, so you have repented and hit the like button. I appreciate that, Aslan. Okay, so going back through the lessons, let's go over some of these scales. Okay, let's do the G major scale. 3rd fret, open A. 3rd fret on the bottom string is G. Open. 2, 3, open, 2, 4, open, 2, open, 1, 3, open, 2, 3. And that at a more normal tempo, that's the famous do re mi scale. And I'm fingering it in first position, so if you're playing the first fret, your first finger plays. If your second finger is assigned the second fret, the third finger is assigned the third fret, fourth finger is assigned the fourth fret, and so on, so on. Okay, the next scale was the pentatonic. So it's kind of a hollowed out Dorian scale, hollowed out diatonic scale. So instead of having 7 notes, we only have 5 notes. That's why it's called a pentatonic. And if we just start on this same note here, we have the third fret, and open, second fret, open, second fret, open, second fret, open, third, open, third. So it's pretty easy once you get it down, and it sounds great. I mean, it's my favorite scale to use on the mandolin. Hold on a second, I'll be right back. Take a sip. Yeah, I have to order. I'm going to order. Actually, I'm contacting the people over at Gold Tone. I got to order a 12-string mandolin, which is basically a mandolin guitar. I've got the 6-string mandolin, but I need the 12-string one. Now, mandolin's tuned different than guitar, and I'm going to get my mandolin pick out just so I'm stay used to playing with Wiegand. I love this Wiegand mandolin pick. It's actually a really cool pick because it's symmetrical. It's all three. It's just like a pure rounded off triangle. What's that called? A kind of triangle. Shoot. A right angle. No, right triangle has a right angle to it. No. Oh, dang it. Where's Roger? Roger would know. I love pentatonics on the mandolin. It just sounds they're so fun. So fun to play, and then you can add the blues note in there if you want. The bluegrass players don't probably think so much about scales. Once they know them, they probably are just trying to create melody. So if I were to play equilateral triangle, equilateral triangle. Yeah, I knew there was a. Yeah, there you guys all have it. I can tell how I can tell how big the lag is on the chat back and forth here. But yeah, so as far as those scales, all of those scales are fair game. Probably bluegrass players, they may not even know them. They couldn't name them. Like for example, the G minor 6 pentatonic, they might not do that one, or if they do, they don't think of it as that. You know what I'm saying? We're going more of an analytical approach, which is kind of how I like to go sometimes. But at the same time, you take that head knowledge and the dexterity that you learn from the scales that we've learned, and you've got to combine that with a heart. So you can't just go, oh, okay, I'm gonna do, it's C. You know, like I don't know, can I play over this? Oh, not at that tempo. See, I'm not really to the point of soloing. I'm not there yet. I haven't really practiced improvising on mandolin. Normally when I'm playing mandolin, it's for a game or a TV show, and I'm reading music, so I'm using a different part of my brain, and not doing. Basically, well, on this thing, it's not. I'm trying to play I'm trying to play bluegrass, but we're working. This is a bluegrass. George, this bluegrass series I'm doing. So we're learning scales in the bluegrass genre. I'm just gonna put this down here. I probably actually would play better bluegrass on the Greek bouzouki than I would on the mandolin at this moment. Okay. So let's go to the. Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead and play the C major pentatonic. Okay. So we're going to start on the third fret of the second string. Okay. And then open D, second fret, open G, second fret, first fret of the second string, third fret, which is the D note, then open E, and then third. I would love to play Stonehenge, but on the mandolin, that would be funny. yeah. I would love to play Stonehenge, but I don't want to have I don't want to have a copyright infringement. Actually, I just their music director, Spinal Tap's music director, just called me a couple days ago. He's a good friend, CJ Vanston, and he called me a couple days ago. And we had a good talk. So there's the C, and then the D major pentatonic. We can start on the D string, and you're going to have to play second and fourth. So and then only one note on the third string, which is the second fret. So 0, 2, 4, 2, open 3, open 2. And then what we can do is to make the next scales, okay. Let's see. Sorry, replying to something. The next scale, I added the flat 3 in there. So that allowed us to do the G lick. So let's learn the G lick. If you're new and you haven't learned it, play third fret and then open 1, 2, open 2, open the D string again open, and then the G string open. So and finish it with the G strum. So again, it was third fret, 0, 1, 2, and then on the D string goes 0, 2, 0, like that. So you're playing D, E, D, and then hit the open G string, and then strum the G chord. Kind of fun. And then the same thing we can do with the C. We start on the C note, and we're going to go C, open D string, 1, 2, open G, second fret, open. And then the D would be, it's a little different. You could use the open B string, but it feels a lot better to play this note than the open B string. Too many work meetings. Dang, just gotta quit your job, Paul. Just quit your job. Now, if you were to, when I was jamming on the track, I did the G lick and the C lick and the D lick over every one of those. It's a little annoying. Okay, that's not what you want to do. The G lick is really almost like, what would that be? You know, it's kind of like that anymore in bluegrass, right? Or, which of course in Mexico that has also bad connotations. Not the G lick, but the when you do that, they think "f you" at the end. So that's just a Mexican thing. So I don't know if it's South America. I think it's mostly Mexican. But I've learned not to do that at the end of songs when I'm playing on Latin records. Okay, then the next thing we did was the Mixolydian scale. So G major again, 3. This is the major scale. 3 0 2 3 0 2 4 0. You get that do re mi fa sol la ti do. And I'm not sure in solfege if someone in Europe might know the answer to this question. I'm touching my face so we can take a sip. Our drinking game. But when you flatten T, is it ta? Do re mi fa sol la ta do. I'm not sure, but and actually in Europe they use fixed do, so this wouldn't be do anyway. This would be do, so it's all messed up. Dash has a quick question. You don't know me very well, do you? When I play F minor pentatonic on the first fret, it strains my wrist. Any tips on that? Yeah, it's a little hard to reach. A little hard to reach. Yeah, I can see where you know. It's a lot of it is elbow position, arm position, height of the guitar. You notice I'm always got for the lessons so that you can see my guitar and I can be close to the screen. I'm using a footrest. And I use the footrest a lot when I'm recording just because I like to have the guitar kind of position high. If you're a rocker and you're standing and you're playing, your guitar's way down here. Yeah, some things are really going to put a weird angle on your wrist, and it's going to definitely hurt. And the further up you go, the less it's going to hurt because you're going to bring your arm closer to your body. Yeah, and so try adjusting your elbow. A lot of times, it's amazing how much pressure you can get by bringing your elbow in or moving it out at different things. You can even see just the relation of my pinky to that F sharp note by moving my elbow. So the problem for me is that I've got it down. So you could tie my arm to my body and I could probably still, you could tie my arm out here and I could probably still play it, you know. So it's hard for me to relate. But what I would say is adjust, you know, your arms, the ergonomics, the tilt of your guitar. A lot, keep in mind, like classical guitar players, I've seen them play almost straight up and down, but even a 45-degree angle is very common. And you may find that, wow, that feels great. Playing it like a classical guitar. Because so much about classical guitar is all about ergonomics and getting the most out of an instrument. And if you are used to like rocking out like Kurt Cobain, or Jimmy Page, where he would wear his guitar really low, I mean, that's really horrible ergonomics for playing guitar, but it looks cool. So I even did a lesson with Camila Cabello, and I understand what, like a pop artist, when she's standing up there and playing the guitar, I understand that the goal is you got to look good. So you got to figure out the ergonomics of the look you want. Now, if you're in the studio by yourself, then who cares what it looks like? You do what's best for playing. But if you're a pop artist and you're on stage, yeah, of course, the way it looks is so it's fine. If you don't mind having the guitar way up high and it looks good, you think that looks good, and it fits your style or whatever, then not really a problem. I think about who would play like this a lot. I mean, the guy from shoot, I noticed he always wore his acoustic guitar pretty high. Death Cab for Cutie. I can't think of his name, but he would wear his guitar. He played a smaller guitar, but he would wear it pretty high. I think Ed Sheeran. Yeah, no, wears it pretty normal, but he does play a smaller guitar. And that was probably because he was a busker, and that's how he got started. And so when you're going on a train, you don't want to bring a very big dreadnought, you know, to get to your station where you're going to busk. Now the guy for Death Cab, like I said, I vaguely remember him. I vaguely remember him. No, I want images. There we go. Playing pretty high, not high. Yeah, see this. I mean, it may have been a thing he was doing for SNL. I can't remember. I just have this vague memory of that. It looks like he pretty much plays normal. But you'll find. Let's see. Okay, hopefully I can go back. I schedule it, but I don't know how to. Well, we'll see. Hopefully I'll be able to start that meeting. Sorry. So, but that said, Dash, if that G major scale is causing you problems, you don't have to hit that F sharp. You know, you can play a G major scale to there and kind of skip that note even. Musically, it's not critical. And then if you go to the G mixolydian, you can have that F note. And that's the next scale we learned. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. No sharps. My hair's pretty crazy today. I didn't even look in the mirror. What the heck is going on up there? Oh, Bruce, did you ever figure out what you're going to do with the YouTube thing? I mean, the video? That's the best option, I think, is just put it on YouTube and you can keep it private. But talk about placing the frets. So Dash, did you figure it out? You figure out some. I mean, again, there's a balance between comfortable and ergonomic and looking cool. And at my age, I don't care. You know, I'm not trying to sell records. I'm just teaching YouTube lessons and playing at church and doing sessions all day long and writing music. So it's completely irrelevant how I look generally. But for a younger person, it can be more than relevant. So I know that's silly, but okay. All right. Then the next scale we learned was the blues, the minor pen. Sorry. I love that. I love the middle two strings on these scales because they each have enough change in it to really highlight what's different about them. Like I said, when Stevie Ray Vaughan, you know, he'd be playing in B or something, but when he got to that 5 chord, he would not play the flat 3 and the B. He would play the 2, which is the same as the 5 of the 5. Okay, don't worry, there won't be a quiz on that. But that's what we're doing here. When we do that D minor pentatonic, when we take that B flat down to a D, we're accommodating. We're playing a note that's much better, much more inside than the B flat over the D chord. You know, that just ends up sounding like an Eddie Money song. We play that B flat over the A. I mean, over the D chord. So play it. Kind of fun. So over the G is that shape. So starting on the 3rd fret, play the 3rd fret, bottom string, 1st fret, then 3rd fret. Again, this is a pentatonic scale, so we're going to generally have generally have 2 notes per string, not 3. Then open D, 3rd fret, open, 3rd fret, 1st fret, 3rd fret, 1st fret, 3rd fret. And if we were to transport back in time to when I taught about the pentatonic shapes, this will be pentatonic shape number 5. Okay? Notice that the G minor pentatonic, all of those notes are played. Well, the pentatonic number 1 in G minor would be this. And again, half of the notes are just that. Okay, so this is pentatonic number 5. But it's not as weird as a normal pentatonic number 5 you're fingering, because we have open strings. I'm digging these medium strings. Put Elixir 8020s. Where's the box? Oh, hold on. I'll leave the room. You can take another sip. So these are the strings that I put on yesterday, and I really like them. Now, I kind of endorse Elixir, I guess. I mean, I get an artist pricing on things, and actually, technically, I could get a box of strings every year, and I do generally, but sometimes I forget because I have so many strings. But these are 13 and 56, so it's pretty. This is medium, so this is what I would call heavy strings. Because there probably is a higher set than this. I don't know. And then these are the 8020 bronze. So they do have a very good sound. And the nano web, which you could get polyweb, but the polyweb's going to be a little quieter, which is nice. Oh, where's the guitar? Oh, there it is. See, this is a little squeaky. So the polywebs are going to be less so, because there's going to be more of the Gore-Tex in the strings, filling in the gaps. But the problem with the polyweb is that they do tend to get a little fuzzy after a while, which never really bothered me, but aesthetically it's not very pleasing to look at. And then these are the nanowebs. So, right, yeah, nanoweb. And I don't know what the difference here between phosphor bronze. Okay, 8020 bronze, yeah. So these are 8020 bronze. So, yeah, bright but full and rich, and so I think really good strings, and they'll last a long time. I got a couple sets, but I may get a box of them just because if that's gonna be my new normal on that guitar, we'll see. But I feel like it's already improved the neck. So, Music the Juggler, interesting. Minor 6 pentatonic. Yeah, it's a cool scale. It's a great scale. It's B.B. King scale is what B.B. King would use. Now, B.B. King didn't play bluegrass, but it's kind of what sometimes they call it the happy blues scale. It's a little bit happier. And you could also do the 7th here and the 6th here. So you end up playing. You can do both, the 7th and the 6th. I mean, when you're playing that, you're playing the 5th, 7th, 6th, and 7th. So there's no reason you can't play both. But anyway, so in this case, the G minor pentatonic. Holly calls that the G meth pentatonic. Right, Mahaly? Right, Mahaly? But it sounds great over the C chord. That's why we have it there, because it's better than the C minor pentatonic. We've had this discussion before. Why not use the C minor pentatonic? I don't know. Over C, if we're doing a song in C, yeah, heck yeah. Yeah. Over the C, sure, yeah, use C minor pentatonic. But for some reason, when C is the 4 chord in the progression, that minor pentatonic doesn't sound good. And it's not just me. You will not hear it hardly ever used in blues or bluegrass. Now, if we analyze all the scales that we've been doing here, all of this stuff, if we add all that together, we have justified all 12 notes. All 12 notes. Hey, Gary, what's going on? We've justified all 12 notes in some way, shape, or form. And in fact, the E flat is one of them. But the way the E flat got justified was going from D to E over the C. Like, right? There's an E flat in there, but you go by so fast you don't notice it. So that E flat's fine, but for some reason, and I can do it so you can hear it, and we can go to the jam track. It's just, I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know if it doesn't sound good because nobody's done it or nobody does it. I don't think it's that, because I think it doesn't. I think nobody does it because it doesn't sound good. Charlie Parker can justify, he would justify any note and make it work. And people go, that's a wrong note. But then you go, wait, but some reason it works. But when I try the C minor, watch when I do the meth. So here's what C minor, here's D minor pentatonic, G minor, C. Okay, now we hit the meth, the minor 6 pentatonic. Much more useful. I'm just playing the middle 2 strings. It doesn't work. So I can't really explain it. Because the B flat works fine over the G major chord. It's like, the B works great over that. And normally if I were playing in C, the E flat works great. But if C is the 4 chord, this is a question for Rick Beato. He might be able to explain why C minor pentatonic doesn't work over the C chord, over the 4 chord. So I don't know. So does that make sense? Anyway, yeah. So that minor 6 pentatonic is a really cool scale, and it's a great one to use. I should email Rick and see if he comes up with an answer. So I met him at the NAMM show a year ago, and we had a quick little chat. It was fun. Very cool to meet him. I can't wait till I get a blue check on my name. Then maybe if I make a comment on his live stream, that he'll see it and go, wait, there's a blue check person. Or whatever color the check is. I don't know what it is. Let's see, improv exercise. Oh, weird. Okay, so let's see what else. Now we did that, and then we added the blues notes to it. Okay, that G minor 6 blues is kind of weird. I don't know. I mean, I just did it because if I didn't do it, you'd say, well, where's the G minor 6 blues? That's the only reason I did. I'm not, I love that, I love that lick, but a blue check just means I've got 100. On YouTube, it means you have 100,000 subscribers. So that if I make a comment, there might be a blue check after my name. I'm not even sure. But on like Instagram, it's usually celebrities and such, or people who are very, with journalists have blue checks and politicians have blue checks. So it's just, and I'm getting there. But it's slowing down. My YouTube the whole thing is kind of, we'll see where we're at right now. But I was getting like I was getting like almost 2,000 subscribers in 28 days, but it's really slowed down. So now it's 1,400 new subscribers in 28 days, but it's definitely on the downside. Yeah. So it's what it is. All right. No, I know. I know. I saw that video on Rick Beato yesterday. It was pretty upsetting, to be honest, because me, I've gotten copyright strikes, but they're not officially strikes until they're only strikes if you refuse to act on them or insist on them or whatever. But it's like, yeah, I mean, every time I've had a copyright strike, it's always been, you can remove it, because it's like on these live streams. And I inadvertently play a melody from something. Like I said earlier, Gary, we were doing lessons on playing over a chord progression. I was saying, okay, start by playing the root of each of these chords. And so I'm doing that, and the jam track's going, and it's a jam track that I wrote and recorded. And now I'm doing my jam tracks at weird tempos, like 101.5 or something. So they're less likely to drop into those 120s, 110s, 100s, or whatever. Except that bluegrass jam track. That one actually, when I posted that bluegrass jam track, the 121, I got a copyright infringement on that, and I said, it's 3 chords, and they're all major chords, and I wrote and recorded it. In fact, I even one of the things, I mean, the drums and the bass are a loop, or I looped the bass. It was like an upright bass thing that I did like 16 bars of or something and loop it. And then the guitar, what I did was I played a guitar on the left and a guitar on the right, and I used 2 different guitars, I think, and I kind of took 2 different approaches to strumming, so they're a little different. And then I went for a long time. So I didn't just do one time through and then loop it for 10 minutes. I actually played for about 2 or 3 minutes and went that way. But trying to avoid that copyright, those bots from detecting any kind of loops or copyright. They can't copyright loops that are free loops, so they can't claim that. But sometimes the bots catch those things and then give you an infraction or try to get you to share royalties. And I refuse to share royalties to some company that went around and just used computers to create 1 billion different melodies and then go around doing copyright claims. That's complete bogus. So, and everyone I've fought, the only one I didn't fight was one that, there was one that I played a little bit of ETA by Bieber, so you could hear my guitar, and it said, so I just went ahead and had him chop it out. So YouTube makes it really easy to get rid of the offending thing. But yeah, the Cars thing was kind of just weird because he immediately got a strike, and it's like, you get 3 of those and they take your channel down. You imagine 2 million subscribers, 2 million followers, it's like, yeah, in fact, that would cause if Rick Beato got 3 strikes and got taken off YouTube, that would cause a max exodus to something like Rumble or, Vimeo or any of the other million other streaming services or the video services. So Florida's getting warmer and cold is how cold? Don't talk to Gary about cold. Or even Paul. Paul's in a cold place too. Chicago's really cold. Touch my face so we can take a sip. Greetings, Leo. Good to see you. So the blues, licks like if you want to do, you want to see what I'm doing there. So I'm putting my first finger on the C note, on the first fret of the second string, and pinky on the G up there, and I'm hammering on the second finger, like that. Hammering on my second finger on the D flat. So that's a flat 5. So I'm playing over a G chord, and I'm going down to that B flat. I love that lick. Yeah, that's crazy. I remember that weather, Dennis. Like I remember 20, being 40 degrees below zero, which is in Fahrenheit would be 72 degrees below freezing. And I hit the curb with my car and the tire cracked. Literally just cracked. I'm like, man, dang it. I gotta buy a new tire. I had to change a tire in 40 below weather. But I did not have to change a tire. This is an example of Hoosier hospitality. I got out of my car. I was teaching guitar lessons, and I went to the store, and they said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "Well, come to teach lessons on Saturday morning." And they said, "No one's going out in this. We're sending everyone home." Okay. This is before cell phones. So I'd already driven the half hour to work. But so I get in my car, and I coming out of the parking lot, I hit the curb, and it cracks. About a mile later, I have a flat tire. I'm like, really? In this weather? And I get out. I don't have gloves on. I get the crowbar out, or the jack, or not the jack, but yeah. I got the jack out, and I jack up the car, and I cannot get the lugs off. They're just frozen. So I see down the road there's a gas station. So I walk down there and I tell him what happened, and he's like, "Okay, let's go check it out." And he gets in the truck and locks up the gas station. He was the only one there. He locks up the gas station, and we go to my car, and he like makes me sit in the truck with the engine running, because he had gloves and hat and everything, and he was out there. He took the wheel off, brought it back we took it back to the garage. He fixed it and put it back on my car. And I didn't have any money or anything. He said, "Don't worry about it." But I went back later and gave him a 10, which was a lot of money back then, I guess. I went back that like Monday. I gave him some money, because I was like, "Dang, that was awful cool." But that was in Indiana. I don't think that would happen in California. I don't know. Maybe it would. I don't know. But Hoosiers are known for that. And solfege, spelled correctly. I'm not sure how that's spelled, but solfege. I think it's soul. Solfege is with an L in it. SOLFAGE. And you are very forgiven. Solfege. Yeah. Oh, EG. Okay. So it's solfege is SOLFEGE. Believe it or not, that's how it's solfege. And probably, I don't know what language that is, origin. It's got a little, it's French. Yeah, well, that makes sense. Solfege. Italian, solfeggio. See if they even mention fixed do or note names. Here's the note names. Do, re, mi, yeah. But like in Europe and England, they teach fixed do. So C is always do, even if it's the fourth. Like if you want, like, sol, la, ti, do would be that. Sorry, I'm trying to get my windows ordered here. Okay. So yeah, so that scale is kind of like the lamest one, and I'm sitting on it. The Dorian one was really cool. I really like the sound of the Dorian scale. It gives you some fun notes, like that B flat. Of course, sounds great over the tree. Right? It's got that kind of bluesy thing going. But it's also, the B flat is the 7th of the C chord. So it's like, when you add the 7th, the dominant 7th notes to these major chords for the bluegrass thing, it gives it definitely a more blues kind of thing. It gives you're almost more likely to get the stink face on, right? Like something smells. Now, if that's all you do is the 7th chords, it won't sound that way for long. Okay, your ear will get used to it in the course of a 2-minute song or 3 or 4 or 5 minute song, and it will just sound normal. So what you have to do is save those for moments. Okay, a lot of times you would use the D. You might go D, D7 to go to a G chord, kind of thing, to kind of save that 7th. But yeah, if you save that C7 for just occasionally, it'll sound much better than if you do it every time. So check it out. It sounded cooler there. But if I did 7th chord, it just sounds dorky to me. But to save them for moments. So that B flat will allude to that 7th over the C chord. So if you're playing over the C chord, and the C chord's someone just playing a simple C, and you play C. In fact, if we start the G Dorian scale, don't worry, there will not be a quiz on this. Everybody take a celebratory sip. No quiz. If you start on C, it's a C Mixolydian scale, right? C major would be. So G Dorian is the same as C Mixolydian, and the same notes. And so even if you're not playing the C7th chord, if somebody's just accompanied with a C chord, you'll give a very C Mixolydian centric kind of vibe. Hey Jeff Hook's in the house, and Leo, good to see you. Ark is here. I said hi, Ark. I hope, but I've seen you posting. The other thing about this is it's got an F, which is again kind of gives you the blues sound over the D chord, and the F will give you a bluesy sound as well as the B flat over the G chord. So it definitely the Dorian, using the G Dorian scale, and again John. Michael, yeah, ultimately, in the open position, if you can look at them, do it without looking at your hands eventually, that would be great. It's not critical. You'll see guys looking down at their hands, flat pickers and stuff like that. However, if they're singing, of course, if you're singing, you're not going to be soloing. You're probably just going to be playing chords. But a lot of times, a lot of players will close their eyes when they're soloing because I think there's a reason why you do that, and that is you remove that stimulus. So you've got 5 senses. If you can remove one of those, it's like people that are blind or have better ears. Typically, people who are deaf have better eyesight sometimes, and so if you remove one of those senses of the stimulus coming from that sense, you can heighten the others, your sense of touch and your sense of smell, which is so important when you're flat picking, that sense of smell. Now you need to smell a good note, play the newest song. I think that's what he meant, not economical. I can play that. Or if he's maybe referencing the latest song I have out. If you play Apex Legends, I did all the guitars on Apex Legends. Cheers. And I just found out I'll be working this year, I think a lot this year, on the new Star Wars game, which is really cool. So that's exciting. I'm really glad about that. And then continuing to work on Apex. But the new character, Fuse, is out, and it's very guitar heavy. And I've done a lot of guitar solos and stuff like that. And apparently I haven't seen any, I have a hard time finding any of the music, because anytime I watch the game on someone playing it, I don't hear any music. But they're saying, oh no, we're getting such great reviews about the music, and everybody loves your guitar playing. I'm like, okay, cool. But I haven't really found anything like that. But the last one we did was for Bluegrass Week 8. So I'm basically using these shapes. And I did, and I do have Soon coming out on a record by Benny Main. I've got 2 songs coming out that I co-wrote on that record, and I think 3 coming out on Miles Wesley's record. I don't know if I've got any on the Bieber record, and when that one's coming out. So I know I did some writing sessions for him, and I had a song on the last record, and I actually had 5 in the running, which is crazy. And maybe one of those got back on the running. That would be cool if one of those songs came out. I know there's a couple that I'm really, really hoping that will come out. Mainly because I keep getting asked to do tutorials on them, and I don't want to do tutorials until the songs are out because I don't want to give away the secrets in case someone will steal it and then use the hook, and it's like, oh dang it, that was my hook. So I'm a little protective about that kind of stuff. So let's see. Let me get the jam track up. I'm going to play the jam track at 100, I think. Yep, normal speed. And so here's the new one. Oh, may have to refresh it. Hold on. Now I'm going to log off here in a little bit because we're going to get together at noon for a. If you go to the Discord, you can see that's weird. You can see the invite, I think, for Zoom. It's the first time for trying this. I've been on Zoom meetings, but I've never hosted one before, so I have no idea if this is going to work or not. Oh, come on. What is your deal?
That face
ad
that is used.
Get rid of the ad. Okay, here we go. So this was the new one. Oh, wait. The heck? What happened to the sound? Okay, let's start again. I accidentally muted. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I see. Okay. I got to start over again. I was doing economy picking, which is exactly what I'm trying not to do. All right, I'm trying to do pure alternating picking because that's, I believe, the more bluegrassy way. 1, 2, here we go. 3, 4. Trying to do that pattern. Trying to do the pattern, the 3-2-3 pattern. Fast. It's hard. I can do it if I don't have to change chords. I think I can do it. Oh, it's hard. I got to practice. You can't practice something fast if you don't have it down. That makes no sense. So, all right. So, it's a question from Rio. Oh, blues as a root. Leo, will you do solos on pop? I don't. No, it's a game, so I don't even know what the game. It's the game, not TV show. Working for the composers on it, and maybe 2 games. Literally, it's going to be the next year or more. So it's not coming out for a while, and of course, I'll have to sign an NDA and all that stuff. Oh, thanks, music. I'm sure there's a lot of people that can play. bluegrass better than me. Again, we started this whole series because we wanted to learn bluegrass together. So, and one of the things when I'm jamming with Alex or jamming over chord progressions, bluegrass things, I seem to run out of ideas and things. So I wanted to give myself more material for ideas. So by learning new scales, it's like learning new words. It's like if I'm learning Spanish and I only know 100 words, I'm not going to really be able to have a conversation. If I know 1,000 words, I might be able to have a conversation. So it's the same thing with music. If I'm limited to what my knowledge of what I can, what's fair game and everything. So let's see. Oh, nice. Your godson is in the last Star Wars, Richard. That's cool. And, it's actually an actor. Your godson's an actor. Solfeggio, yeah, in Italian. I've never heard solfeggio until I looked it up just now. But solfege is, yeah, and that I never hear hardly ever hear the term solfege. Okay, so Leo, make sure. Yeah, the new Apex Legends patch just came out. Yep. Well, I probably will do solos on everything just because even if they don't ask for them, because sometimes they go, oh, wait, that's cool. Let's put that in there. So it's kind of fun. And sometimes after doing, a couple, 3-4 hours of just, tracking stuff that they want, it's like, okay, let me have fun for the next 10 minutes and just go for it. So that's often what I do. And it used to be like pointless, and now they're like expecting it. They wouldn't ask for it, but now they're kind of like, hey, also do some solos. I'm like, now it's part of the thing. So it's fine. I mean, I love doing it. I'm not, I always tell guitar players, guitar players typically spend 95% of their time practicing soloing, and on the gig, only about 5% of their time soloing. And so the guitar players that tend to get a lot of work and get busy are the ones that are really into tone and really into coming up with good rhythm parts, and being good rhythm players. And if you're in a cover band, you're playing whatever the rhythm part for the song is. But if you're a lead player, then you got to kind of know both. But generally, there's not a lot of solos in music today. So if you're playing in an 80s band or you're playing an 80s cover or 70s cover rock band, then yeah, you're going to have a lot of solos. But it's not as common today in music as it once was. So I don't know. Oh, 1917. Oh, nice. Okay, so I'm going to log off, but at noon, I'm going to try to launch. So you can go to the Discord. The Discord link is at the top here. You can join the Discord site, and then if you go to announcements, you should see. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I've got it here. There it is. Join Zoom meeting. It says join Zoom meeting. So I'm assuming if I click on it, then 10 minutes before as email 30 minutes before. Okay. That's fine. I don't know if that's something I could set. I think it's default. So got it. Okay. Okay. So it's going to open Zoom. So it should allow me to do that when it comes time. So I'll keep this window open. All right. And then I can see all your faces. We can talk for about a half an hour, and then I should probably get to work. I'm working on a couple things today, and I need to do. I need to send out a video to some people, and then I also probably do a TikTok today. So I'm the Strahle on TikTok. So if you want to go there and follow me, you totally can. Johnson Williams, sorry you're late. What would you say would be the harder chord for a beginner chord? F major or B minor? I would say F major is probably harder than B minor. F major, you gotta take care of 6 strings. With B minor, you only have to take care of 5 strings. And then also F is at the 1st fret, which your arm's further away from your body, and B minor is at the 2nd fret, so it's just that much It's literally that much closer to your body, so that helps. So that may answer your question, but I did do a video on that darn F chord and that son of a B chord. Let me pull those up real quick, and I can give you links for those right here. Let's see. Okay. Copy link. Here's the darn F chord video. And even in there, I give you cheats. There are times where you don't have to play the full bar F chord. A lot of times you don't have to. And then the other one was the son of a. Yeah. And that one is here. It's funny. I even used like the script font so that it looks, oh, the son of a B chord. So B chord is hard. A B chord is harder than F chord, though, in my opinion. B minor chord is probably slightly easier than an F chord. B chord is harder because you've got to separate your 3 fingers from your first finger. You've got to keep a fret between them. When you play a B chord, you've got this. You got this gap you got to create. At least with B minor, you can do that. So B minor is fairly easy. I like the sound of B minor to F, by the way. They're not in the same key. Sounds very Radioheady, like kind of like that. So hopefully I won't get a copyright infringement on that. Holly's impressed with Bruce Howe. Oh, it's not a guitar, but a cigar box guitar. Yeah, no, it's cool. And hopefully you'll be able to upload that video of the putting the frets in. So we got some good views, I think. Oh, what the heck? That was weird. We got up to 47, which is pretty darn good, guys. Pretty impressed. So I'm going to end the stream right now, and I'll see you in about an hour and a quarter, okay? All right. See you soon. Bye-bye.